Good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday morning and time to start a new story. I hope that you had a great spring break and did some fun things with your family and relaxed, not having to do school for a week, and just enjoyed your time together. I know it's hard being cooped up at our own house and not being able to play with our friends or go on vacation or anything like that, but hopefully this will be over real soon and we'll be able to be back together because I miss you very much. This week we're going to talk about frogs, and frogs are one of my favorite animals to talk about. There are so many stories about frogs and we're going to be reading a lot of them this week. I'm also going to give you some videos that you can watch on YouTube about frogs. But the story that we're going to start with today about frogs is called I Don't Want to Be a Frog. I don't want to be a frog. Let's do a little bit of predicting. That means guessing. You look at this frog. Why do you think he doesn't want to be a frog? Can you make a guess about why he might not want to be a frog? Let me ask you something. If you could be any animal in the whole world, what would it be? Probably not a frog, right? Or maybe it would be. Would you think about 3 reasons why you would want to be a frog? What's a reason why you would want to be a frog? Well, if you love the water, I know Boston loves to swim. If you love the water, maybe you would want to be a frog so that you could be in the water all the time. Can you think of 3 reasons why you would not want to be a frog? Do you know what frogs eat? Flies and bugs. I might not want to be a frog because I might not want to eat flies and bugs. Shall we find out why this character does not want to be a frog? Let's read and find out. I Don't Want to Be a Frog, written by Dev Petty. He's the person who wrote the words. Illustrated by Mike Bolt. He's the person who drew the pictures, and these pictures are really cute. He's a really good artist. Oh, we have some really fun pictures. Look at those animals. There's a cat and a pig and a rabbit and an owl. And there's Frog down there. Looks like he's kind of dreaming or wishing about being each of those animals. I don't want to be a frog. Look at the book he's reading. Can you see what it's called? What do you think gets Frog thinking about being a cat? I want to be a cat. He's reading a book about cats and he's telling his dad, I want to be a cat. And his dad says, you can't be a cat. Why not? Because you're a frog. I don't like being a frog. It's too wet. Well, you can't be a cat. I want to be a rabbit. You can't be a rabbit. Why not? Look, I can hop. He says, I can already hop. Why can't I be a rabbit? Sure, but where are your long ears? Besides, what's wrong with being a frog? I don't like being a frog. It's too slimy. That may be, but you can't be a rabbit. I want to be a pig. You can't be a pig. Why not? Most of all because you're a frog, but also because you don't have a curly tail or eat garbage. I can eat garbage. Everyone says that until they eat garbage. Sorry, you can't be a pig. I want to be an owl. Of course you want to be an owl. Being an owl is the greatest thing ever. Boy, you would love being an owl. So, can I be an owl then? No, of course not. Why not? Number one, you don't have wings. 2, you don't look wise. 3, you can't turn your head all the way around. 4, you are a frog. What's wrong with being a frog anyway? Too much bug eating. I see. But still, no being an owl for you.
Why so glum? What do you want to be then?
I don't want to be a frog. Not a frog. I want to be a cat or a rabbit or a pig or an owl, something cute and warm.
I'm going to tell you a little secret.
Who's talking to him? You see that?
Oh, it's a wolf. I love eating cats. I love eating rabbits. I'm pigs and owls too, and I'm pretty hungry. I might just go gobble some up right now.
That's terrible.
It's who I am. But guess the one thing I never eat.
Badgers?
No, I eat badgers. Lots of badgers. 24 badgers.
Frogs?
Bingo!
Why don't you eat frogs?
Because they are too wet and slimy and full of bugs.
Oh, so it's good to be a frog?
Yup.
I guess you can't fight nature. We are what we are. You are a fierce hunter.
And you are a wet, slimy, bug-eating, very lucky frog. You should just be happy you're not a fly.
Why should he be happy he's not a fly? What's wrong with being a fly? Look at that long tongue that he uses to catch the flies with. And there's all the animals, and now Froggy has decided to join them in a dance because he's happy that he is a frog. The end. We're going to talk about a couple of reasons why authors write stories. What is the purpose for an author to write a story? One reason is to persuade. To persuade you. They want to convince you that their ideas are right. They want you to think like they do. Another reason is to inform. Inform means to give you information. They want to give you information about something. And the last reason is to entertain, just for fun, just to entertain you. And if you look at the first three letters of each of those words, P-I-E, do you know what that spells? Pie. That's how I remember why authors write stories. I think of the word pie, and then I remember to persuade, to inform, and to entertain us. As a reader, this is important for you to realize. How you read these different kinds of books depends on the author's purpose. Sometimes the authors will try to make you laugh, give you information, and change your mind all at once. Sometimes in a story, they might do all three of those things. Why do you think Dave Petty wrote I Don't Want to Be a Frog? Was it to persuade us to want to be something else? Was it to inform us about the good things about being a frog? Or was it just for fun? What do you think? I want you to think about that, and we'll talk about it some more tomorrow. If you can grab a piece of paper and a pencil, I'm going to give you just a minute. Or a notebook. Maybe you have a notebook at home that you're working in. You can pause the video for a minute while you grab that. Are you ready? On your paper, will you draw a lily pad? You can draw a little frog by it if you want to, but if you'll just draw a lily pad, and inside the lily pad, I would like you to write some reasons why Frog doesn't want to be a frog anymore. So think back through our story that we just read. What were some of the reasons that he told his dad why he didn't want to be a frog anymore? Do you remember the very first thing he said? Do you remember what he said? It's too wet. It's too wet. So you could write that word wet on your lily pad. What was another reason why he didn't want to be a frog? Slimy. It's too slimy. Can you think of another reason why he didn't want to be a frog? It was too wet. It was too slimy. When he was eating his sandwich, what was inside of his sandwich? Remember? Too much bug eating. He was tired of eating bugs all the time. So those are 3 reasons why Frog did not want to be a frog anymore. Thanks for helping me out with that, and we will see you soon. Bye.